You mentioned briefly the defense. Micah Parsons continues to look outstanding. He's their best pass rusher. He was given Jalen Hurts.
Best player, sir. Best player on defense.
Hang on. He looked outstanding, and he's making a difference, and he's noticeable all over the place because what reasons we talked about here on Overtime last week. He just has sort of a knack and a feel for it, and certainly athleticism that not every guy possesses. But there's two other guys I want to talk about. Number one is Leighton Vander Esch looks pretty good. Now, I know there are a lot of concerns about him coming into this season because he's been so hurt the last 2 years, and it's a big reason why the Cowboys did not exercise the 5th year of his initial rookie contract. But Clarence, Leighton Vander Esch looks pretty good. It's not maybe as good as he was his rookie season, but would you agree that he looks like a guy who is completely healthy from the kinds of injuries that just shadowed him these last 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Leighton was always been able to stay healthy. And so that's still a question over 17 games of the season. But he looks good. And the same thing with Jalen. Jalen looks good. And Jalen's been productive. Both of them been productive. That's what it just boggles my mind when we got Micah here, we drafted this linebacker, Keno Hill. Let's get rid of the veterans. Let's get rid of those guys. And everybody would want to get rid of those guys, get rid of Jalen. Let's move on from those guys. And you're going to need those guys. A 17-game season, with all the injuries up front, you move Micah Parsons to defensive end, you lose Keno Hill to COVID, and now we have to rely on those old guys everybody wants to get rid of, and they're playing well, and they will contribute to a very strong victory against the Eagles. Just Jalen Smith was spying Jalen Hurts and running all over the field, running sideline to sideline. Again, you talked about Leighton Vander Esch, the way he played. The person outside of Trayvon Diggs, we haven't gotten him because that's a bad boy. He finally got a number one corner who's going to play like a number one corner since Dion. But the person outside of Parsons and those linebackers, the person that's the most valuable player on this defense, that's like the offense, that Dan Quinn is in the zone. You're talking about a coach who's come in, who's lost, we thought their best player, DeMarcus Lawrence, okay? Then you lose Randy Gregory for a game. You lose your starting two defensive ends. Now you lost Doran Armstrong. You lose Neville Gallimore, who you thought was your best defensive tackle. Keno Neal come in. Your guy from Atlanta who's come in and play from moving safety linebacker because he knows your defense. He's out for a game with COVID. Carlos Watkins is hurt. Doran Armstrong is hurt. Let me move Michael to defensive end. Let me bring these guys in. It's not an issue. In the past, these have been major issues for the Cowboys. See, that's why they're giving up yards because they don't have their guys. They don't have their guys. Let me mix and match and use guys to their best abilities. Jaron Kearse, guy no one ever heard of, coming as a free agent. He's balling out at safety, covering tight end.
He looks pretty good. And I think the other thing, too, that you can't really put enough of an emphasis on is the Cowboys are playing with leads. And if you can play with leads, you can turn another offense, especially an average offense. Now, the first 2 weeks, they were not playing average offenses. But last night, the Eagles stink. Jalen Hurts can't play. He's a backup quarterback. They have one toy in Jalen Reagor. I can't ever recall watching an NFL team just give up on the run the way the Eagles did last night. And they were playing catch up, even though it was tied at 7-7, but they were never in that game. So a defense will look significantly better if you are up by one score and you're playing a really average quarterback. But credit to those guys.
Let's do this. Don't say that they're playing with leads just because the offense is playing so well. They're playing with leads because the defense is playing well.
They are.
Because in the past, they weren't able to play with leads because as soon as the offense scored, the defense will score or give up a score. They're turning the ball over. They have 8 turnovers. Okay, they lead the league with 8 turnovers. Trevon Diggs, safety, turnovers and interceptions in 3 straight games. Anthony Brown, big whipping boy the first 2 weeks, has an interception early in the game. They're turning the ball over like nobody's business. So they give up yards. They keep people out the end zone. Again, Trevon Diggs, 59-yard interception for a touchdown. Consider this. It was the Alabama quarterback that threw the pass. It was the Alabama receiver that was supposed to catch the pass. It was the Alabama quarterback that took it the other way for a touchdown. That was Alabama on Alabama crime. And the main man was Trevon Diggs, who was
he looked great. And
Alabama man out there, Roll Tide.
And, I asked him afterwards about that, about facing an Alabama quarterback and going against an Alabama receiver. Did it give Trayvon Diggs an advantage? And he said, yeah, absolutely it did. And he's familiar with all of them. He knows what they're going to do. And as he said, it's all fair game. Pick 6. He is the cornerback that the Cowboys drafted and hope.
In the second round. So what
hang on. Got to stop talking. This is not overtime with just Clarence Hill.
That's what it is.
No, it shouldn't be. I mean, otherwise ratings just go in the tank. Love you.
Feature you can answer.
Yeah. So the Cowboys drafted Byron Jones in the first round for this kind of play that they're getting from Trayvon Diggs. And I know Diggs, when he was coming out, was one of these. You read about any negative thing you want in draft evaluations, and they're like, oh, he wasn't as good as he could have been. Well, he looks pretty good right now, and it looks like the Cowboys have a legit shutdown corner, like you said, maybe their first since prime time.